Guys, this is Lauren. I'm one of the founders of WhisperTranscribe, and I'll quickly walk you through everything that you can do in this app and how the different parts work. So first up, when you come into the app and after you've registered an account with us, you'll be greeted by this screen. This is really like how do you get the audio into our app, and you have four options here. First up, you can upload any file. So we support MP3, MP4, so it doesn't matter if you upload a video or an audio, we should be able to get all the relevant information from that file. One note on this is that currently the file upload limit is at 600 megabytes. So if you have very large files or very large videos, then it might make sense to only upload the audio from it. Otherwise, you can also find any podcast in this From Podcast Library button here. Here you can search for either the title of an episode, you can search for the host, or you can also paste in the RSS URL. So if I do this, for instance, here with Lex Friedman, then I see his podcast here, and then on the right side, you can go through all of the different episodes that you would want to transcribe. You can also search here, so if you know what the episode name is called or you know the number, then you should be able to find it pretty quickly. Next up, quite self-explanatory, I think. You can add any YouTube URL, so just paste this here, and then you're ready to go. Finally, you can also record right in the app, get the transcript, get the content from the transcript, which you can do here. So you can start recording here. Of course, I have to give the permissions, and then as soon as you're done, you can hit the finish and transcribe button. So that's now actually already transcribing. But to come back here, before we move on to the Content Hub part, I still want to show you two settings before you hit the Transcribe Now button. One is you can select a language. This is especially relevant if your language is not English, or sometimes if you have like an opening song in your podcast that is not English. So you can set the language here to make sure that it always picks it up. Then the second part that you can add is custom spelling. So for instance, my name is often misspelled, and like especially in English, it's quite often misspelled. So I tend to add that here. If you have more than one word that you want to add, you can just separate those by commas, and then just add the different like words that you would like to include with custom spelling. There is one side note to this. If you always want to apply the same custom spelling to everything that you upload, you can also do that in the settings here, where you can set up some custom spelling that will be applied to anything that you upload. All right. Next up is really the where the magic happens, and which is the Content Hub. One note on this, depending on what you chose to, where you got your audio from, whether it's an upload from a podcast, from a YouTube, or if you record it in the app, the file will be placed in the folder here on the left side. So I've already prepared and transcribed one of a podcast episode, and I'll walk you through what the content looks like. All right. So first up, you do have a lot of different pre-generated pieces of content that you can use right away. So here for me, it was set up in a way where I generate titles, I generate show notes, I generate a newsletter, a blog post, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I want to show you two additional features here. First up, you can edit any of these just right here, click the save button. And then you can copy it over to wherever you might need it. The second part is we know that variation is key, and sometimes you're just not completely happy with the results that you get. So you can also regenerate, and this will regenerate more content, but from the same prompt. So there is some variation in it, but it will not completely or drastically change the content itself. You can do this for all of the different content blocks. And if you actually want to really get a very different piece of content or something that is not in our presettings, then what you can do is click the new content button here, where you get into this menu here. where you can first up just play around a little bit, see what works. So you could say write a short summary, and really you can add any custom prompt here that you want. You can also give it, tell it to only generate like a specific part. So for instance, if you say just write an outline for a blog post or write an introduction for a blog post, you could add this here and generate it. So this is really for trying out different things. This used to be our AI playground, but it's now integrated here. So as soon as this has finished generating, um, we see the text pops up here. Again, we can edit it, we can delete it, or we can copy it. And what's added here as well is that we can save it to our prompts. We can give the prompt a name. So in this case, write a short summary. So I would call this a short summary. And save this. And now the cool thing is that I can actually also apply it. That I can apply it to any new transcript that comes in. I can do that by going to the settings and then adding this prompt and telling it to apply it to all the different transcripts or all the different audios that I'm uploading. All right, to come back here. So that was the first part of the content generation. And here you can, I've walked you through how you can edit and create variations of the existing pieces of content that we provide you like from the get-go when you sign up into the app. I've also shown you how you can generate your own content and really bring it to make it fulfill the requirements that you have. And now the second part of this whole content piece is, of course, the transcript. Here you have the full transcript with timestamps. This is actually one of the features that we'll be adding in the near future, which is that we'll also have the different speaker names here as part of our transcript. At the moment, that's not the case, but you can expect it in the upcoming weeks or months that we'll add this as a feature. So here in the transcript, of course, you also have the option to edit the transcript. If you can listen back to it by clicking the play button. And then if you see there's something wrong or it didn't come out quite right or something is spelled incorrectly, you can edit it and then save it. If you've made quite a lot of changes, also keep in mind that you can regenerate the summary. And then that's based off that summary, you can create new content that will take these changes into consideration. All right. So that's the one part of the transcript. We've also you also have the option to download these as like SRT or VTT to add them directly to a video or to just upload them somewhere. And the second option that you have is you will get a pre-formatted just full text of the whole transcript. This was something that a lot of our users found useful to add it to a YouTube description or to add it to your podcast, so people can just search the full transcript, but don't have to deal with all the different timestamps. All right, so we've walked through the Content Hub. I've shown you how the transcript works, how you can edit that. The last part that I want to talk to you about is the account page. So in the account page, there is like on one hand, you can of course change your subscription. This will look a little bit different depending on what subscription you're on at the moment. You can of course also buy hours if you're in like a specific month. You just needed a couple more minutes of transcription. And you can also cancel a subscription if you don't want to have it anymore. And one other part that I also want to show you is the whole user management. That's also part of your account page. So you can add people to your account or to even like anyone that comes from your company domain so that they can use your plan as well and use the minutes that you have. There's one side note to this, as the whole app runs locally, and we wanted to protect your privacy and not add like all the different transcripts to our own servers. At the moment, it's not possible to synchronize your account to someone else's account, so they will have to transcribe different parts themselves, and then they can just still use your minutes and be on your payment plan, but you're not sharing the same files. So you have two options here. Like you could, on one hand, just add a whole domain. So you could, in our case, just add the WhisperTranscribe domain, and then anyone that's whose email has like the whispertranscribe.com in it will be able to join your account. You also do see the different users that are added to your account. You can delete these users, or you can add a user by just entering their email address. Yeah, so I think that was actually like all the key features of WhisperTranscribe. So I've walked you through how you can add a transcript. I've shown you the different parts of the Content Hub. I've walked you through the whole transcript and the different ways to edit and export it. And finally, we've discussed the whole user management. So if there's any questions, we are very happy to get in touch with you. So please just reach out to support@whispertranscribe.com. I hope you enjoy the app, and speak soon. Bye.